Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We start the session. And the session we starts by the one demo.
Turn on. Okay, so thank you for coming today. Today I would like to introduce what we do in the global market and with some demonstrations of our latest products. So first I would like to introduce who I am. And I used to work for Rakuten, I think between 2007 to 2011. And I was also a member of DU in Rakuten. And I worked for 2 years for Linkshare at New York office. And after 2 years, I had worked as a producer for Rakuten Ichiba for Taiwan. That was the first system for the overseas market. And I also had worked for Rakuten Kojin Union service. That's a self-import service with buy.com. And now I think they had changed their name. So brief introduction about Cerevo. We have 75 employees, and we call ourselves as a Japanese IoT dream team because 80% of engineers, that's a percent of engineers in the total of employees, but all of them came from Sony, Panasonic, Sharp, Hitachi, those big brands of Japanese manufacturers. So we call ourselves as a Japanese dream team for IoT because we have many experiences from many different category of companies. And we make prototypes. We design everything in Tokyo. And we use factories in China, Vietnam, Philippines, and some other countries, maybe. But mainly we use Shenzhen to make our products and selling our products to all over the world. And we are trying to make some niche products, something that large manufacturers doesn't make, like Samsung or Sony, and trying to sell those products to the global market. And this is a kind of a niche video switcher. It's a video switcher. You can connect 4 cameras with HDMI, and you can control with the tablet. And this product has received CES Innovation Awards. Another product we had made is Auto. That's a smart power strip. So you can hook different electronic products, and you can turn on or off remotely with a smartphone. But because in Japan we have some regulations, and that regulation was kind of vague and gray, and we thought it's okay to sell in Japan, but we had a dispute with the government, and we needed to stop to sell this product in Japan. But we are making some challenge also in this kind of new category. And Snow One, we had unveiled this event at the world's largest consumer electronics show, CES, and we had received best tech product from Digital Trend at the CES. So this is a snowboard bindings, but there are sensors inside, and you can check a weight distribution, balance, speed with a smartphone. So you can turn your smartphone to movie mode and shoot a movie with all the metrics from the sensors. And just last weekend, we had a shooting by Discovery Channel. So they came to Japan to shoot our products. So I want to show a brief 10 seconds videos how this product looks like. So, okay. No, come on. Okay, so this is not working. So I just go to the next. And we are not only making products for ourselves, but Blue Ninja, we are using Toshiba chipsets to make a product for hardware makers. So we found out that Toshiba had made an interesting chipset, and there's a Bluetooth connection, and with 9-axis sensors and pressure sensors, and we thought, okay, that's a very good chipset, and it's a good chipset for hardware lovers to make some smart devices. And we decided, okay, let's make a module for Toshiba to spread those for other hardware startups. And with this simple chipset, you can make a smart device like a smartwatch. It's a kind of prototype we made with a Nixie tube. It's already kind of older technology, but we made a smartwatch with Nixie tubes. And also we could put this on 4x4 toy to measure as a telemetry to measure the speed or accelerations and those stuff with your smartphone. And this device can be used for other hardware startups. And we even got some inquiries from a large big name companies that, okay, we want to use this device to make a prototype. And after we finish to make a prototype, we want to discuss how we can make mass production final products by using this module. And Haki, it's a more easier device for software engineers. So a lot of internet services, it can be controlled via browser or via your smartphone. But we made a physical key switch to trigger internet services. So if you know the name of IFTTT, you can program to do something with IFTTT, and you can trigger to start that program with this key. So it's a physical key to connect between the physical world and internet world, to connect between hardware and software. So even if you don't have any knowledge about the hardware, you can use this hardware to start to make some action, like sending a tweet when you turn the key, or change the Google's calendar status that the room is now used when you turn the key. And when you turn back the key, you can program to change that Google Calendar status that now room is available. And you can also get some notification from the server that when the remote light is on, you can illuminate this LED. Or you can get some notifications, like if you got a retweet, you can make this illuminate. So it's a kind of a easy hardware for software engineers. And if you have heard the name of this product, I think it's kind of being brave to talk about Amazon in here. But it's a kind of a simple buttons to buy washing powders by just turning on the button. But with Haki, you can do the same things. So if you need help, we can help Rakuten to beat Amazon with our device. And this was another challenge. And we wanted to make something a real cool product with our technology, to use IoT technology to make a toy. Not a toy for kids, but toy for adults. So there's a series of anime called Psychopaths, and there's a near future story. And there's a police using this future weapon. And it's a weapon to detect the potential crime rate of the person you target. And there's a crowd system in that society to detect the potential crime rate. And when this weapon detects the person I target could be quite dangerous, it tells me the metrics of how he is dangerous, and it will transform to make the execution. So we are making this product, and we will sell this product by March next year. We will put some camera in here, so you can get the image of the person you detect, and we just show some metrics by measuring the parts of his face and show how potentially he could be criminal and transform, and with the voice also from the anime. So that's another challenge we make. And with the IoT, it's not only making some gadgets, but we also try to make some revolution for the toy world. More time? One more time, okay. You can try, you can try later. So this Qualys, we just announced this product last week, and here we wanted to do make some change for the alarm, wake-up alarm. And our CEO, he cannot wake up in the morning, and because iPhone alarm is so small, so we made this simple device, kind of aluminum tube, and that works good to make a big noise with a small body. And you can sync with Google Calendar, so you can set alarm automatically to make an alarm 2 hours before the first schedule in the morning. And also, I will just make the alarm, and to stop this alarm, you have to shake it. And it also says, okay, let's do one more time. So this was easy driver, but you can change the settings to make it harder. And you have to shake it very hard. And that makes you wake up. And OK, it stopped already. But if there's a schedule, it automatically has a text-to-speech function. So it lets you know, OK, what I have to do after I wake up by the sound. So that's our latest product. And we are selling our products to all over the world, not for major countries like US or European countries, but to some minor countries like Costa Rica, Dominica, and some Virgin Islands, and New Caledonia. And half of our revenues is coming from outside from Japan. And how we do this, you remember 80% of employees are engineers. So actually, we only have quite few people to do sales for overseas market. So that's where I have been this year. I'm visiting every month. I'm going somewhere to introduce our products to other countries and go to some exhibitions, conferences, but we have only limited budget. So we also make the booth by ourselves. So there's a CEO, he's buying some woods at do-it-yourself house, and we bring it to the exhibition hall and try to paint it, cut with electronic saws, and to save the money, well, I don't know, because we're manufacturers, we do everything, but it's only ourselves doing everything at the exhibition hall. So here, this is a NAB show. That's a show for broadcasting facilities at Las Vegas. It's only me and another sales assistant. It's only 2 people, but we just received the woods and just to try to make a wall, set up a wall, paint it, and made a booth by ourselves. But it's not always easy to do everything by ourselves. So one time, there was an event, only me and the CEO goes to that event, so we only have 2 people. And CEO was also full of the schedule, so we decided, OK, we cannot make booths by ourselves. So we decided to use Chinese service facilities to make posters and frames. And we had shipped those products to Germany. But just the day before the event, we noticed that nothing had arrived at the booth. So it was empty. And everything we shipped from China, it was stopped by customs. Because you may know that Germany is a kind of country very strict to import things from outside Germany or Europe. And you may have heard about the news that violinists who tried to bring her violin for the music concert, she was stopped because that violin was quite expensive, but it's kind of natural for the musician, but that thing also happened for us. So we had nothing. But we went to do-it-yourself shops, bought woods, and made it. So it was a tough job. It's not perfect, but it looks OK. So that's what we do for the show. And we could make a successful show by making everything by ourselves. So that's what we do. And after this, we had a good beer and good meals. And maybe that's another reason why we go to global to have fun. So thank you for listening. So that's a brief introduction about what we do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mitani. Please raise your hand if you have any question. Okay. Any question, please?
Hi. So I was just wondering, by the way, really cool gun. I love it.
Thank you. Yes.
And I think I'll get one of those alarm clocks, because even if you throw it in the wall, it won't stop, right?
Yeah, it won't stop.
Yeah, awesome.
There's a sensors, so acceleration sensors. You have to make that sensors detect some vertical movements. And unless you do that, it won't stop.
So the only thing that stops it beyond that is a steamroller.
Yeah, well, if you leave it like 10 minutes, it will stop, but that's the only way.
I was curious, you mentioned that the government had stopped the power strip.
Yeah, yeah.
What happened there?
The reason is it could be dangerous. I mean, somebody could turn the air conditioner on or to set the fire. You know, somebody criminal, some kind of hacker could control the electronic device to make some damage to the owner. So the Japanese government have a very strict law to try to, you know, even self-driving car have some strict limitations. Like Tesla, they started new updates to our self-driving function for all countries except Japan. So there's similar regulation, but it was kind of vague statement, and it was not clear definition. So we thought, by our understanding, it should be okay. But after we started selling, the government, the Ministry of Economy said, okay, you cannot sell these things. But after we stopped selling, another member of the Ministry of the Economy came to us and said, okay, we want to hear how we need to change the rule to make, you know, Japanese company, you know, more competitive for overseas market. So there's also fights internally inside the government.
It seems like a huge showstopper for anything IoT or...
Yes, yes. So I bring my briefcase with every product and visit with, you know, kind of a Piero, but yes, that's what we do.
Seems like something you can get Mikitani-san support for also, maybe.
Yeah, right, definitely. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any question?
So maybe I can talk about our organization. We said we had 80% of the people are engineers, but so that means we have 75 people, so we have around 60 engineers. And none of them are hardware engineers. We make a team of 4 to 5 people to make one product. So we have a hardware engineer to make the circuit, and another software engineer to make the program for the hardware, like to change the program for firmware, or make some program that runs on the chipset of the hardware, works on Linux mainly. And another software engineer to make the app for Google, or for Android, or for iOS. And another engineer to make the mechanics, or to design package or everything. So and maybe one infrastructure engineer that supports a couple of groups. So 4 to 5 engineers works one product. We have like 60 engineers. So maybe we now have like 10, 11 projects working on in parallel to make different products.
I'm a researcher, so I'm just curious. What's the ordinary overseas exhibition budget, and you do-it-yourself exhibition budget overseas? What's the difference? How much saves with your effort by do-it-yourself?
Okay, that's a hard question, but normally, if you ask someone to build a booth, it normally costs around 1 million yen at minimum, maybe at least $5,000. I think that's a minimum. But yeah, I would say 1 million. And if it's going to be a bigger booth, and for next year, we have to have a 3 times bigger booth at the CS. So, and we have to make a huge wall, and that cannot be done by ourselves. It's kind of over the limit to do by yourself. But it will cost. We were said, okay, if you have to do this, we have to charge you 4 million yen to do that. But we are now making a negotiation and saying, okay, we will do the half, and we will try to save it to 2 million. But normally, for the small exhibitions with tailor-made frame, it's 5,000. Like just a kind of boring, simple aluminum frames, that's around 5,000. And if you try to make a kind of original designed booth, it's going to cost at least 1 million. Yeah.
Some suggested retail prices of your products?
Okay, so this one is, we are saying it will not cost more than 100,000 yen. I mean, that's like $800 or $900. But we are getting many comments from overseas markets saying, okay, take my card, and we're asking, I want to buy this for Christmas. Even we are saying, oh, well, no, it won't come out until Christmas. But we are getting many comments like that. And this one costs $100. I think in Japanese price, it's 12.8 thousand yen. 12,800 yen. And that one, this one is like $10,000. I think in US we charge this $89 US. And for the bindings, the price will be $579 US. So it will be around 70,000 to 80,000 Japanese yen.
How you decide your products based on consumer needs, or it's the idea come from your team members?
The idea is we try to not make a major product. I think you may have heard of the word the blue ocean, but when we started to plan a product for the smart snowboard bindings, there was also idea to make something we need to make for the ski, because that has a bigger market. But we decided, okay, we should go to more niche area, because we don't want to competitors come to, and that's the area nobody tried to do something at first. So that's the way, like those kind of smart bands. Everybody does that. Every big players like TomTom, or it's not only Fitbit, but even Microsoft is making Microsoft band. And we are intentionally trying to avoid that kind of area. I mean, it's already some kind of thing somebody's already trying to do. So we try to focus on the area someone may not having a focus, and do that, step into that area first. So that's our strategy to make. And this one, even we were said, okay, nobody would buy this kind of toy that costs around $1,000. But we knew, in some anime fans used to pay that amount. And well, maybe it's my kind of stereotype opinion, but well, actually, nobody had used the true technology for the toy. There were only some, even today we can do a lot of things with smartphone and with sensors, but nobody tried to adapt those things into the toy, except Cerevo for Star Wars. But at the same time, we tried to do this thing when Cerevo was making a droid robot. So that's the way we are working.
Thanks.
Thank you. You may have questions, but the time's come up, so we'd like to stop the session here. Thank you, Mr. Mitani.
Okay, thank you, and please come if you need photo.
And we will have a 5 minutes break until the next session, Fits Me Fashion Fit Shop. We start at 10 and 25 minutes.
ありがとうございます。